Hello guys, it's Derashi here. I decided to make a quick rundown of the latest patch. I did some testing, I ran some maps, so now I can tell how it feels. So let's get into it. The private leagues, pretty nice idea if someone wants to join, a big streamer, they can have a nice time on a fresh economy. The quick use currency buttons on strong boxes and essences are very good quality of life changes. Main reason why I would sometimes skip the boxes is just because I was way too lazy to open my inventory and click one orb at a time to juice it up. But now when I can just click the small buttons, it makes me enjoy the idea of making the boxes way more, as was probably one of the best changes that we could have gotten here. In terms of breach, I finally made all of the splinters drop underneath your legs, kinda like it happens with Delirium. I was hoping that change will happen eventually, and here we have it. It's really good, and it makes my farming of breaches feel more impactful because I just see those big juicy stacks of like 50, 70, 90 splinters. It feels much more rewarding this way, and I don't have to be annoyed with the idea of, oh no, I need to walk around and pick one breach splinter here, one splinter there. It was terrible. It's so much better this way. But to be honest, the amount of splinters we get now, because we pick up all of them, is kind of ridiculous. And I already noticed that the bridgestones became very cheap. And I think they're only gonna become more and more cheap because of just pure volume of how much we get now. So either Bridgestone's gonna be much cheaper in the long run anyway, and much more accessible for the players, or GGG will decide to limit the amount of the splinters that we drop, because I can feel that the amount that we were getting was kinda balanced around the idea that we will be too lazy to pick up all of them. It's just my prophecy that the amount of splinters gonna be nerfed. But let's keep going. They try to make breaches feel more full, especially in the tight maps where the monsters would sometimes just not spawn anywhere, and since you don't kill anything, the breach would close very fast and you would be very disappointed. Also, they made breaches be open for 20 seconds instead of 12 if you don't kill any monsters. And also, they made it so killing monsters with more monster power gives you more time for how long the breach is open. Which is kinda crazy because if you spend more time killing a rare monster, you should definitely get more time, right? And it was my assumption that it was already working this way. But turns out it wasn't, and now it is. God bless. Generally speaking, the changes to the breach, very good, great quality of life changes. I'm very happy with them, and the breach has felt so much better now. When it comes to Azmerian wisps, I mean, they're still annoying. I don't like the idea of slowly following the wisp and having it go through as many monsters as possible to juice out a little bit of extra rarity on the final monster, right? I feel like, generally speaking, the entire mechanic is pretty boring. I don't think anyone likes it too much. The most important change here is now that the wisp of the hare and the wisp of the fox will be more common, 3 times more common, which is nice because they're gonna be cheaper now because there's gonna be more supply. Rogue exile visibility. They're right, sometimes the encounter would start pretty fast when the exile is pretty far away from you and you just see that big health bar at the top and you're kind of wondering where the hell is he. Now they made it so the encounter starts when you are much closer to them than before, so you don't have to really look for them so much. And also when you open your tab, you'll see the icon of the exile. I don't think that was very needed. Like, I personally didn't have problems with locating them. In the end, more gameplay clarity, the better. They're making some drop improvements. They're making level 20 uncut skill and spirit gems more common, same as perfect jeweler orb. Funny enough, before the H patch dropped, I was actually able to drop 2 perfect jewelers within 3 hours of gameplay. And ever since the patch dropped, I was able to get only 1 today. I think it's a good change because perfect jewelers were definitely too rare, and trying to get those 5 support gems was feeling pretty bad, especially like on the fresh build. It felt like very unnecessary gatekeeping power from players. They removed Greed Shrine and Corrupting Shrine, which is great. Nobody likes getting corrupted items, and dropping all of the items as gold. Generally speaking, it was a cool concept, but it seemed it was also working on currencies. So imagine you drop a mirror and it just turned to gold. Like, you wouldn't know, right? But if you could know, you'd probably be jumping right now. So I think it's a good change, to be honest. They also make rare shrines like Diamond Shrine and Divine Shrine appear more often, which is nice. Diamond Shrine is the one that gives you 100% crit chance. And eventually I think it's the one that makes you immune to damage for some time, if I'm not wrong. And now they appear more often, which is cool, because to be honest, I sometimes forget that Diamond Shrine even exists. And they also make some of the shrines have longer duration, which is cool, I guess. Like, shrines have fun effects, so having them for longer is definitely not gonna hurt anyone. We get new stash tabs for omens, also stash tab with socketables, which will hold all of your runes, talisman, and soul cores. Very useful one, to be honest. I've been having all of those in one of my normal stashes, and it's been manageable, but having a special tab for it is definitely more comfortable. I just hope it's not too expensive. I actually didn't check the price. Actually, let's check the price real quick. Okay, it's actually not too bad. As you can see, the socketable is 50 coins and ritual one is the 40. It could be cheaper, I guess, because obviously there's no PoE1 counterpart, I'm afraid, for ritual and socketable. So that's there, that's it. Like, the price, I guess, is not too bad. It could be worse. But yeah, let's get back to the changes. Some other improvements. Visibility of the corridor on Arbiter of Ash. That's nice. The bindable actions for being able to quickly allocate strength, dexterity, and intelligence on passive tree is a nice change if someone is tinkering with the tree a lot and trying to change. Charms now can go into the flask stash, which is cool, I guess. I don't have a flask stash, so GG for me, I guess. They added quick travel button for town, which is cool. Is this button here, which is nice because, to be honest, I'm not exactly too familiar with the map yet. Like, I've been playing quite a bit, but sometimes I still kind of don't remember where is the home. Like, for example, like I'm looking around, right? In Act 2, especially, where the caravan might be in, well, like any of those places. I think it's the best change for Act 2, to be honest. Oh, that's probably one of the coolest change, by the way. Control plus the right click to be able to move all of the items between the inventories. Sometimes you're gonna go to the currency exchange and you're gonna be grabbing, like, let's say 300 exalts, so for example, and now you need to click 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and if you click too much, it's gonna be, oh no, you're doing too many actions at once, our servers might explode. Now you do one control right click and boom, everything is in your inventory. Then you open your stash and you do it again, boom, all of it goes to your currency stash. Very good change. Here's the filter property. So the loot filters can filter items by the tier without them being identified. It's a good change for people who want to run with more strict loot filter. For me, it doesn't really do any changes anyway. And hey, 15 separate client or instant crashes. Always nice to see. Always nice to see. And that's pretty much it for the patch 0.20h. This was my quick rundown of the changes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the idea of me going through the patches like this, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna do more. I have to experiment a bit with the content. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.